Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. Okay, have you ever heard of the 15-minute rule when serving wine for both red and white? I haven't, but apparently there is. Here with these and all these other useful wine hacks, we want to welcome to the show Pat Helberg, aka Pat the Wine Guy, which I love that. Pat, welcome.
Thanks, Trey. Great to be here.
Okay, wait, before we get into the 15-minute rule and all that,
right.
Explain to me Pat the Wine Guy.
Okay, so the concept behind Pat the Wine Guy is pretty simple. Good wine, good buys, your store. What we do is we shop all over the Portland area, Beaverton, Lake Oswego, Tualatin, and Tigard, and we go in all the stores trying to find wine in the $15 to $30 sweet spot. Sometimes wine a little less expensive.
Okay.
And if we like that wine, we'll write a review, recommend it, put it on our website, www.patthewineguy.com, Instagram, Facebook page, Twitter.
Right.
So we're kind of like a hyper-localized wine reviewing resource.
I see.
So
how does one begin to be such a wine connoisseur, Pat? I mean, I think I like Trey the Wine Gal. Sounds pretty good.
It's probably not taken. Yeah, I think it's available. I think it's available. Well,
I like it.
I've just liked wine for a long, long time, and I've shopped for wine in Portland for many, many years. I used to work out at Nike, and when I was there, people would ask me for recommendations on wine. And having followed wine for a long time, it always frustrated me when I see wine reviews in national publications or online for wine that you couldn't find. So I kind of reverse engineered this, and I went out and saw what wine was available around town, and from there I'd make recommendations.
That makes sense.
So I just took that concept from Nike, and many years later, just expanding it to Portland.
Into another one of your passions, which is wine, which is why you're here.
There we go.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 15-minute rule.
15 minutes.
What is this about for red and white?
Okay, so the 15-minute rule, very simple. For white wine that's been in a refrigerator for a few hours or more.
Because that's supposed to be chilled.
Well, exactly.
Okay.
Ready to be drunk, supposedly.
Okay.
Take it out of the refrigerator and let it sit for 15 minutes. Let it warm up.
Oh.
Because your white, the typical refrigerator temperature is too cold, really. It kind of crushes the flavor of the Chardonnay and the Pinot Gris and the Riesling.
Oh.
So, in fact, I've got a bottle in the refrigerator now. I was going to take it out if you don't mind. Is
yes,
that okay?
I don't mind, but you know we don't have 15 minutes for it to wait, Pat.
No.
Okay,
all these wines, by the way, all these prop wines are Pat the Wine Guy recommended wines. But this Fumé Blanc, for example. Let's say, well, in other words, Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
Very readily available at store around town. If it's been in the refrigerator overnight, it's too cold. So bring it out for 15 minutes.
Okay.
Let it warm up. Conversely, a red. This is a Rubio from Penarache. It's a Syrah Pinot Noir blend.
Right.
Good wine. Put it in the refrigerator.
Now that's the one that has me totally confused.
Okay. So you probably heard you should drink wine at red wine, room temperature.
Correct.
That's an old saying that goes hundreds of years back to when people lived in castles, and castles were about 60 degrees, right?
Oh.
So I don't know about your castle, but my castle's up to about 67.
Exactly, and had in the 70s.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So since then, central heating, rooms are warmer. It's too warm at 68 degrees to drink your red. So you put it in the refrigerator for 15 minutes, then you open it up, chill it a little bit. This will enhance the flavor.
Oh, good to know.
So 15 minutes out, 15 minutes in.
Got it. Okay. I will never forget that.
Okay.
Okay, now what other hacks do you have for us?
Well, this one has to do with aerating wine.
All right.
Okay, so I'm sure when you have red wine in your glass, you swirl it.
Yes, of course.
Of course, and what you're doing there...
Pinky in the air and everything.
It might look a little pretentious, but actually you're performing a good function there because you're mixing the red wine with oxygen. If you want to do that on a hyper extended basis and you really want to aerate fast, you can pour red wine into a blender for 30 seconds.
Come on.
All right, here we go.
Putting wine in a blender.
We've got another Pat the Wine Guy wine. It's a St. Côme Côte de Rhône. Really nice $14 bottle of wine available around town from southern France. And you're not going to hurt an inexpensive red wine. And by that, I'll say $5 to $15. Put it in the blender, you're not going to hurt it. 3 out of 4 times, you're going to help this wine. Okay. So here's the before. And
Yeah.
you will swirl.
I'm gonna see how this works.
Okay, so we're pouring the entire bottle.
You see the pinky? If I see the pinky, it's real. You gotta put your pinky out when you swish.
Okay, now here we go. We are hyper aerating right now.
Whoa! No way.
Trust me.
Okay.
I forget how loud blenders are.
It's okay. So you really do it for a whole 30 seconds?
30 seconds.
Okay.
For the purposes of time, we'll
Okay.
cut it off. It's frothy. So again, one caveat here. You're not going to do this for your $100 California Cabernet.
Okay.
You're not going to do this for your $200 bottle of French Burgundy. But again, for your entry-level $5 to $15 reds,
Sure.
yeah, you're going to
Okay.
do this.
So
you
now should I
taste
sip
that.
this one now?
Taste
Okay.
that, see what you think. Now what the blending does, it kind of takes the rough edges. Again, you're mixing that oxygen in with the properties of the red wine, and you're kind of taking the edges off.
Okay.
All right, so there
Okay.
you go. That was the Côte du Rhône pre-blending, and now the Côte du Rhône post-blending. Well, it's okay
That's
to
all right.
spill.
Well, I'll just sip it over here. Okay, I don't have to swirl it, right?
It swirled a little bit in this blender, believe me. Can you taste
That
the
does
difference?
taste different.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It does taste different. I'm not sure which one I like best yet because I only had one little sip.
Yeah.
But they do taste different. Wow. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Okay. Now, we've all had this situation where we haven't finished a bottle of red in one night.
Exactly.
So what do you do to preserve that bottle of red? You can make spaghetti sauce, but you can only make so much spaghetti sauce, right? So what you can do is microwave that wine a glass at a time.
Come on. Nobody's microwaving wine, Pat. What are you talking
No,
about?
I know. Again, we call these hacks.
Okay,
Yeah, and
okay.
wine purists can kind of recoil when they hear
Right,
these
yeah.
things. But no, what you do is you microwave one glass at a time.
Uh-huh.
So if we were going to do this, you'd take the wine that has been corked. You make sure that you put the cork back in the red wine.
Okay.
Put it in the refrigerator.
No, don't leave it out.
Do not leave it out.
Okay.
Chilling the wine will slow down the deterioration process of the
Okay,
red.
okay.
But to revive it, you put it in the microwave for about 8 to 10 seconds. Remember that's key. You don't want to go more. You
Okay.
do not want to fry
No,
the
no,
wine.
no.
Because once
Okay.
you've gone too far, there's no coming back.
Okay, 8 to 10
so
seconds.
try 8 to 10 seconds and see if after that it's at the proper temperature.
Mm-hmm.
If it's still a little cool for your taste, then you can warm it up a little bit more. But less is better than more
Okay.
in this case. I do this all the time. I did it last night.
Wow. Okay.
It
I'm going to try this because
works.
my husband is notorious for just trying to leave it out and saying it's okay the next day.
No,
or
no,
two.
no.
Thank you.
Put the cork in it and put it in the refrigerator.
Okay.
And you can keep it for a couple
I'm gonna
days.
tell him to put the cork in it more ways than one. Thanks, Pat. Okay, last but not least, why do
Okay.
we have cans here?
This is not a hack, but this is just a recognition of a trend. Canned wine is getting to be huge.
What?
Really big. This is Underwood wine. It's a local product. It comes from Union Wine Company in Tualatin, and they do Pinot Noir, Pinot Gris, Rosé. They also do a sparkling in a can. And the convenience factor is huge for the
Well, I
consumer
get
out
that.
there. Yeah.
But
So,
it tastes okay.
it's the same wine they put in a bottle that they
Okay.
put in a can. I call it ultimate Frisbee wine. You can take it out to your ultimate Frisbee match.
Right.
You can take it to the park. You can take it hiking. You
All
can
right.
take it on the canoe.
Guess what? I can take it in the car without opening it and just take it home because
Okay.
that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to taste this later. Pat, thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you, Trey.
I know you have more. Maybe you can come back and show us.
Be happy to.
All right, so we're going to have more information about today's wine hacks and about Pat the Wine Guy on our website for you at KATU.com.